Ballpark Beef, Season 4, we are back. Did you miss us? I missed you guys. I'm really excited. We got a whole heck of a lot to talk about. Huge baseball season coming up. Baseball's here, baby. Roll that music.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Guys, welcome back to yet another season of Ballpark Beef. I'm John. I got Nick and Jimmy here with me. The regulars, no one was fired. Everyone's contract was renewed for another season. Nick still doesn't have a new mic. It's still the same mic for the last 4 seasons. So that's the reason why he sounds like he's using a console headset, because he is. The producer has asked him to change it. We've asked him. So listen, the only other choice is you guys to tell him. So if you want, DM Nick and tell him get a new mic. If not, he doesn't give a shit, because he doesn't
Hey,
give a shit.
just start a GoFundMe at this point.
We're gonna start a GoFundMe so Nick can get a $50 mic. All right. But anyways,
$50.
yeah. Anyways, we're back for season 4, and we have a lot of baseball stuff to talk about. NFL drafts coming up, dynasty drafts coming up. It's a big season for both New York baseball teams. The Cardinals, maybe we'll have an update today. Maybe we'll talk some Cardinals. No clue whatsoever. We'll see if Nick has anything prepared for himself. He's busy planning our 100th episode spectacular, so I'm sure that's a lot on his mind. We're gonna have special guests. We're gonna have entertainment, right, Nick? All on the whole shebang, right?
I mean, the way you're talking, you might as well just do it yourself. You're gonna give out how the whole episode's gonna go, or are you gonna just like let it flow?
Well, I'm just assuming based off how I would schedule the 100th episode.
And what did you learn as a kid when you assume?
Assumptions usually don't come true.
Yeah, so let's just wait until this episode's done, the next one's done, and then episode 3 of season 4 will be the day.
So in 2 episodes, so 2 episodes from this one will be our 100th episode. Guys, that'll be the best episode ever. Make sure you tune in. Nick is planning the whole thing. Full creative control is to Nick. Full creative control. Okay? Me and Jimmy, no input. This is Nick. Topics, everything. Nick. Okay? So make sure you tune in 2 weeks from now. No, 3 weeks from now. And you will have the 100th episode of Ballpark Beef. But anyways, let's get into kind of what's been going on the past weeks in our lives. I'm not going to talk much. I don't have much to talk about. But Jimmy, Nick, how's life been? How you guys doing? I missed you guys. I miss our Tuesdays. This is our Tuesdays to talk, hang out, bullshit about sports, and that's why we do it.
We're back. We're back, and I missed it. That's
We
all I
are
have to
back.
say. Yeah, life's good. Life's good. Just trucking along, man. Just getting through the winter, getting ready for baseball season here, and spring training. Been seeing a lot of nice things, a lot of good things with this team. Very excited to follow them and talk about them again, and just good to be back with the boys.
Yeah, man. I mean, what was it, 3 weeks that we took off, and it was a long 3 weeks, man. The weeks were going slow, not knowing the second day of the week I'm doing this every night. But it's good to be back. The weather's finally getting a little warmer, and you know what that means. It's time to watch some players hit some 450-yard bombs.
I
If
love
they hit it
baseball.
400, if they hit it 450 yards, Nick, they might be on steroids.
Sorry. I'm still in the golf mode. Me and Jonathan went out for Jonathan's first time playing golf, and I'm in yard talk now instead of feet.
Yard talk, baby.
Let me tell you guys something about golf, right? Golf's a very humbling sport. Unlike baseball, I knew what my issue was in baseball. So my issue in baseball was always a mental thing, right? Every time I was bad at baseball, it's because I was in my head. I have an issue with being in my head a lot. I overthink, I overanalyze. And golf, man, there's no coming back from being in your head. You're not hitting shit. I had probably one of the worst rounds you'll ever see. I mean, honestly, for a beginner, it wasn't terrible. It was, I hit the ball, right? Like,
Listen, hey, your first 2 shots, you piped them like this was your 20th round.
Yeah, and we were at randoms, and they looked at it like, "Wow, this is your first time?" And then after that,
They started gassing him up, and then he was just like, "All right, let's go into reality now."
yeah, and then it just kind of went all downhill. But yeah, golf's a very humbling sport as much as baseball. And yeah, but it's getting warmer out. It's golf season, man. It's golf and baseball season. But yeah, let's go into sports now. I mean, that's why we're here. We're Ballpark Beef. This is season 4. We've made it 4 years. Guys, we don't do this for any other reason but to be with each other and talk to each other. So, I mean, if you don't
Yeah,
listen to us,
let's give them a little bit about us, man, because
yeah,
like let's tell them what's going on because we got a new season, fresh start, maybe some new audience members. I mean, like let's so three guys. We grew up together. We all met when we were between the ages of 5 and 7, and we haven't been away from each other's side ever since. Why is that, Cap?
I met Jonathan when I was like 15.
All right, so between 5 and 7, and then maybe 15, we all met, and I'm the glue guy because I knew both of you when we are the youngest, and I paired you guys up together, and it's the three of us until the day we die, and
The
that's
three
it.
best friends that anyone can ever have.
yeah.
Anyways, but yeah, so we played baseball growing up. We bowled growing up. We bowled when we were older and had some fun that one summer where we just did unlimited bowling every night of the week. So just, kicking it and always bullshitting. We're always talking about sports. We're always making bets. Our signature 4-for-4 bet. Anytime we have a prop that we want to put a little wager on, little Tawny Homer, little Aaron Judge MVP bet. Always a four
Oh,
for
don't
four
worry.
is our
We'll get some action with that tonight.
yeah, okay. A little 4-for-4 currency, and that's a Wendy's 4-for-4 for those that don't know. We're not sponsored by Wendy's, but we like to bet their currency, their 4-for-4 currency.
Wendy's,
So
if you do want to sponsor us, reach out. Ballparkbeef@gmail.com.
there's the
Um,
email, Nick. Nick didn't know our email for 4 years until tonight. So
No, I knew it the first year. After
we
that, it got lost in the brain cells.
yeah, it's what else is lost in the brain cells. The thing that's lost the most in your brain cells is the fact that you're a Cardinals fan. You've been a diehard St. Louis fan since you were young. Loved Albert Pujols. I'm a diehard Mets fan. Loved David Wright and Jose Reyes growing up. And Jonathan likes the Stankies, man. He likes the pure joy that the Yankees bring him, and he's been that way ever since. So that's us. I just introduced all you guys for you, so you're welcome.
yeah, welcome to Ballpark Beef. We're
Hey,
the three best friends that anyone can have. We talk baseball, football, fantasy football, and even about our shit breaks. So welcome along if this is your first season with us. It's a ride. It's an enjoyable ride. We usually release every Tuesday. If we can't make it one Tuesday, we'll always be back the next week. So yeah, welcome guys. Welcome to Ballpark Beef. I hope you stick a lot around and enjoy. So we're gonna get into this now. All right. So the introduction, start of season 4, and now it's baseball time. Now it's baseball time. Okay. We're gonna start off kind of with our team predictions, how we feel about our team going into the season, and then we will kind of do all around league predictions, World Series prediction, division winners, yada yada yada. Okay, we have some time tonight. I know Nick and Jimmy both have bedtimes, but we'll see if we can get to everything. We're going to talk
Buddy,
some
it's already past my bedtime.
we're going to talk some fantasy football. We're going to talk a little bit NFL draft since that's about a month out, which is crazy that this is starting now. There's two best times of the year. This time of the year, NFL draft, MLB season starting, and then playoffs and football at the same MLB playoffs and football. Those are the two best times of the year. But yeah, let's get into the baseball side. So as Jimmy said, I'm a Yankees fan. Been a Yankees fan my whole life. Jeter was my guy growing up. Anyone who says A-Rod was better than Jeter, you're absolutely right, but I'll never admit that. Let's get into Yankees outlook. So I was excited about the moves we made. We got Bellinger. Goldschmidt was a very good veteran option at first base. We have Dominguez coming up, making his first official full season. Very excited about him, very high on him. Obviously, Judge, MVP season. We got Wells at catcher. He looks amazing in spring training. He's going to be our leadoff hitter. Third base, Waldo Cabrera. I mean, that's our least 4 to 5 position, which again, I like Waldo. I think if he gets at bats, he's average hitter plus defender. Shortstop, second base. I like our duo of Jazz and Volpe. So I'm excited. I was excited until I learned of Garrett Cole's Tommy John. So we'll be without Garrett Cole for the year. Luckily, we do have decent depth starting pitching. So we're going to roll out Rodon, Freed, Stroman, and Cookie Carrasco. I'm sorry. And Will Warren. I'm sorry. Cookie Carrasco, is funny enough, was on the Mets last year.
A while ago.
While ago, sorry. But that's what we're rocking with right now. We did get Max Fried in the offseason, which was a big signing. So it like helps a little bit with Cole not being out, Peel's hurt, who's obviously rookie of the year, has top of line starter potential. So we'll get him back eventually. Mitt is dealing with some shoulder injury. Shoulder soreness. He's just a little late in his workup from spring. He'll be in the rotation soon. But yeah, that Cole's our only injury, and I feel like there's been a lot of injuries this spring for a lot of teams. So it sucks we lost one of our best pitcher, but I think we're built to work through it. And so yeah, I think the Yankees are going to be a very solid team. I think they win the AL East. I am scared of one team. That's the Boston Red Sox. They have outstanding young players. They got Crochet in the offseason, and they look to be a force for the near future, ASAP. Their prospects coming up are absolutely disgusting. So maybe the Yankees-Boston rivalry is going to be reignited this year. That'd be sick. Honestly, if I think we get past Boston, I think the Yankees breeze to the AL. I don't think the AL is as strong as the NL. But yeah, that's the Yankees outlook. I'm excited. I'm hyped. I was going to go to opening day, but I had some things happen in my life. Not able to make opening day, but I will be at a game soon. So you could see John Ballpark Beef maybe one of these days. All right. That's the Yankees. We're going to move on. Whoever wants to go first, Cardinals, Mets. Either we do a short one or we do a long one. What are you guys feeling?
Yeah, I'll go right in the middle. We'll go long, short, long. Yeah, so the Cardinals, their expectations aren't anything different than last year. Last year we finished about 500. This year, the only move they made in the offseason is they got rid of Paul Goldschmidt, which I'm okay with because, he was getting old, go to a team that has a chance to win, blah, blah. But they're sending out the same players, Alec Burleson, Brendan Donovan, Nootbaar, Walker, Arenado, Gorman, Mason Wynn, the newest guy, Lucan Baker, first baseman, and then Wilson Contreras. Looking at the team, they have every player on the roster that is a fielder, 28 or younger. So as you could tell, the Cardinals they're in a rebuild stage, 28 to 24 years old as their lineup. They did nothing with the pitching. We have Sonny Gray. Unfortunately, we're probably not going to go anywhere for him to be an all-star, but he's also 35. So I see the Cardinals, finishing last year 500. I see them finishing 500 again. I think the Reds are going to be good this year. I think the Cubs are projected to win, even though they started out 0-2. I think the Brewers might decel a little bit because they got rid of some pitching. And, with the Pirates having Paul Skeens, they could spark something, So I wouldn't be surprised if the Cardinals finish, fourth, fifth in their division. And, I'm perfectly fine with that. They rebuild for a couple years, and then we'll see around 2030 if they can make a run.
Damn it. So for those that don't know, we get on Discord and we look at each other and we're just enjoying each other's company. And during that segment of Nick's spiel about the Cardinals, we were just made a little friendly wager, a silent wager, 4 for 4 on over or under a minute for Nick's take on the Cardinals. And he came in at 1:13. So
minute and 15.
1:15. So I'll owe Jonathan a 4 for 4 because I took the under. He's smashing the under, but then he started going on and on about some other teams. And it's just like, killed me there.
Close. It was if he didn't pull out the Pirates and the Reds, he would have hit.
It looked good because about 50 seconds he was talking about like the record, and then from like
it was
59 to he was talking about the other teams. So sorry, Nick, we had to do that to you.
Hey, bro. I wish I could just get easy 4 for 4 bets like that.
I thought the under was good, man. Anyway, should we talk about what? Ever. Should we talk about
Under-
the? I said ever.
And nobody
Should
wants
we
to
talk
hear
about
about the fucking Metropolitans.
the best team in the chat here? We cool with that take?
I'll save my comments for later. I'll let you talk, outlook, and then we'll talk about our teams because obviously we have comments about each other's teams. So
Uh, all I want to say is $765 million later.
Oh,
we'll
and guess who we got for 15 years? Worth every penny. Juan freaking Soto.
Say that in 5.
I plan to. Juan freaking Soto, the first MVP winner in Mets history, beginning in 2025. He gets his first one with the Mets. And we ride to the National League Championship Series against the Dodgers. Who knows what happens from there because it's a crapshoot. But
Wait,
the
can I
Mets,
score a 4 for 4 in that?
we can get into it, bro. We can get into it. Let me give you my
I just
Mets
don't
take.
want you to take 40 minutes and then you forget about what you said.
It's not my fault. I don't take a minute and a half like you. So whatever.
Go ahead, bro. Start
All right.
glazing photo for the year.
Are you gonna let me finish? All right. So the Mets signed Juan Soto, the big ticket item in free agency. We got the guy. The documentary that the Mets came out with called The Pursuit, must watch. Awesome commentary on how the Mets acquired Juan Soto. It didn't look good for a long period of time. Then all of a sudden we were close, and then all of a sudden he was ours. Juan Soto wanted to be a New York Met. We got the big guy, and we retained some free agents as well that we had test the open market. Sean Manaea, Pete Alonso coming back for a 1-year deal with a player option. So I think very solid offseason overall for the Mets. A lot of depth signings. Got Jose Siri to play center field, play good defensive center field with some pop and some swag. Not a lot of hit for average like Nick's favorite stat, but we also are being plagued with the injury bug, right? So we have Francisco Alvarez, we have Sean Manaea hurt, Frankie Montas. We have, who else was the other one hurt? Nick Madrigal, we signed as a utility infielder, out for the year. So we have some gaps to fill, and this rotation is not our strong point, and I can definitely acknowledge that. We're gonna have to deal with some of these injuries for the time being, fill the gaps as we can. But I mean, our first starter of the year is Clay Holmes, who's a converted reliever. It's not a good outlook when you have Clay Holmes as your number one starter. But hopefully we keep getting some guys back from injury. David Peterson continues his strong 2024 season into 2025. Kodai Senga returns to form. Tyler McGill maybe finds something here. Griffin Canning looked really good in spring training, and others filling is needed. Backup catcher Sanger looked really good, so I'm excited to see Hayden Sanger play. Yeah, we have a pretty strong back end of the bullpen too. Looking at like Edwin Diaz, looking at what do we got? AJ Minter, and I really think that we have a chance this year. I think we have a chance to make a good run. I think our lineup is deep. I think our pitching is a question mark at the moment. But who's to know? Who's to know? It's a long season, man.
That's the best team in the East.
Oh yeah, best team in this chat.
The guy who has our converted bullpen pitcher as their opening day.
Yep, he's gonna shove on opening day. He's gonna perform the Seth Lugo arc, the Michael King arc, and he's gonna be something that the Yankees missed out on, just like Soto.
So I want to get into a bunch of stuff here, mainly directed at the Mets because obviously we're gonna have. This is gonna be
Always,
we're gonna be
always the butt of every joke.
we're
Go
we're
ahead.
gonna be tied to each other for forever now. Soto going to the Mets in many people's eyes is a power shift. The Mets beat the Yankees for the best free agent. The Mets beat the Yankees for a 25-year-old perennial all-star. If it wasn't for Aaron Judge, the AL MVP, the Mets and Yankees are going to be tied together forever now, and 2024 is going to go down as potentially a power shift, or it's another Kevin Durant with the Brooklyn Nets situation. Doesn't work out, and they stay the little brother. That's what it could be. Okay, and listen, I really hope the Mets have a good year. Jimmy deserves it. He's dealt with the Giants, have no clue what they're doing, and we'll talk about that later. The Mets have been terrible for years, and he could admit that. They showed something last year, which was amazing, and I'm very happy for him. And they got Soto now. My only concern, again, is Clay Holmes as a starter. I have a feeling he's going to do well the first month. Once people start to figure him out, there's more tape on him. I don't think it's going to be too good. Now, I could be wrong. I'm not a professional. I'm not an expert. But Clay Holmes in big spots is not good. I watched him for multiple years on the Yankees, and Clay Holmes in big spots, stressful situations, he's a ground ball hitter. That's what he is. A pitcher, sorry. I don't think it's going to work out well. I worry about the rotation. If the rotation gets healthy, I think they're in a good spot. I think Soto has protection from Lindor and Alonso, something he noted in there was an article at Tom Verducci, part of the documentary. He wanted protection, which was interesting because when he brought up the protection, Pete wasn't on the team yet. Or I guess maybe they made an agreement that he gets Pete back, or they're talking about next year Vlad Guerrero. Who knows? He told Cohen straight up he didn't have protection for him, which is kind of fucked up because you have Francisco Lindor. So honestly, I don't know, man. Soto seems like a bit of a diva after reading the articles and watching some of the documentary. He seems like a diva. The way things were said, the way things were done, he's a diva. Anyways, still a great baseball player, not taking that away from him. Potential MVP. I'm worried about the Mets rotation. I assume their lineup's going to be fine. Is Nibbo going to be good? Who knows? Lindor will be good. He'll have a slow start, per usual. Alonso, is he going to still decline, or is he going to have a good year? Soto, we know what he's going to do. Vientos, was he a one-trick pony, or is this for real? Like, I think there's more questions than people see with the Mets, but that's
Come
me
on.
because I'm a hating Yankees fan. All right?
Come
And
on.
I think a lot of people can agree with me because a lot of things need to go right for the Mets to be a World Series contender this year.
That's every team, every season.
My case
That's
is
such a
rested.
that's a
I think the
cold
Mets
take.
don't win more than 85 games.
Cold. Ice cold take. So your Soto take is bad because he's not a diva. He's looking out for the ability to produce and the ability to be an all-time great. He wants
He
to
literally
land somewhere.
based his decision off the Mets have a better farm system right now. He put an outlook, the Yankees are only going to be good 5 to 6 years from now. The Yankees are always going to be good. What is he talking about? Look at history. The Mets are just good now. That's a terrible reason. He's a fucking diva.
He's not a diva.
And he
just
went
made
for
a
the
decision.
money. He went for the money.
Okay, the Yankees were what, $5 million off in their bet or in their bid? Sorry,
He went for the money. He went for the
stop.
money. He went for the
For
suite.
$5 million. For $5 million, he's not taking the protection that Aaron Judge gives him for the next 8 years.
Steve Cohen did this. He took out Juan Soto's shaft and said, Juan, what else do you want? Oh, you want a suite? Okay, I got you. What else do you want? Like, come on, bro.
That's not
He
how
went
Steve
for the
Cohen handles
money.
business. You're such a hating Yankees fan, and your takes on all the other Mets role players and superstars are also freezing cold. Like, come on,
Alonso
Lindor.
hasn't been declining.
Alonso had one bad season. Alonso had one bad season last year, and he still put up, I think, over 100 RBIs and 30 plus homers.
He hasn't been declining.
He's gonna be just fine, and you'll see it this season. He's gonna get his money too.
And I said Lindor is going to be fine. He always has a slow start. I did admit that.
Yep. Your take on Nimmo is wrong. He's one of the league leaders in on base percentage every year. Your take on Vientos is absolutely horrible. He's the real deal. He's proven it. He's here to stay, man. Like
he did it 1 year.
He's good.
So
and
1 year proves everything.
I think that Brett Beatty is going to take a humongous step this year. I think he's a breakout star candidate. Just mark my words.
So you're telling me you believe in someone after 1 year?
I fully believe in Mark Vientos at third base for the New York Metropolitans.
For the next how many years? He's going to be what for the next how many years?
He will be a fringe all-star player for the next 5 years.
4 for 4. Actually, no, fuck that. 4 for $100.
That's not, you can't bet that. I said a fringe all-star player for 5 years.
So what signifies a fringe all-star?
You asked me to describe him. You didn't ask me to quantify anything. I'm not quantifying
many all-stars? How many all-star teams will he make in the next 5 years?
I don't know. That's impossible to say. He'll make at least 2. He'll make 2.
I
personally number.
I'm not taking the under.
I personally think My
think
takes
Jonathan is.
weren't as cold as you thought they were. I think Nick could agree with me, and he's not a hating Yankees fan.
Nah, I
He's
mean,
a hating Mets fan.
I'm not a hating Mets fan. I just like fucking making you mad. I mean, I think Vientos had a great year last year, but I don't think 1 year. I agree with Jonathan with 1 year doesn't define his next 5 years.
Of
Um,
course it doesn't. Of course it doesn't.
I
That's like
understand it, but
saying
what your take is right now is his performance off of last year. He's going to be a stud for the next 5.
Jonathan said that Heel is like has front end rotation potential.
Does he not? He won Rookie of the Year. He
So
would be. Hold
Vientos,
up.
if he played 20 more games, if Vientos played 20 more games, he would have won a lot of categories for third baseman and also been in Rookie of the Year conversations.
Question, Nick. If Heel is on your team, would he be your number one starter? Healthy?
Probably. I mean, he's fucking 12 years younger than our number 1 starter.
Nick, if Heel was healthy, would he be the number one starter on the Mets right now?
Yes.
Thank you. Okay. All
Anyone
right.
could be the number 1 starter on the Mets right now.
Thank you. All right.
Thank you for what? That statement meant nothing. If
I bet
Jimmy
you.
was in the league, he'd be the starter.
I believe.
Would Vientos not start at third base over DJ LeMay puke?
I'm sure he would, but what better options
Okay.
do we have?
Mark Vientos.
He wouldn't start on my team.
No shit.
He'd be the DH though.
He
They're
might
trying to
start.
sell that guy like he's worth anything still.
Yeah, they are.
Hey, bro,
Anyway,
what do you want me to do? At least they're trying.
I want you to defend some of my Met takes for once in your life because I think Jonathan's Met takes are ice cold.
Well,
I don't think
no, I am defending you. I don't think Juan Soto took it for the money because why the hell would you pick a team for $5 extra million and say it's for the money? I personally did not like Jonathan's statement. Like, well, not like, but disagree when Jonathan said the Yankees are always a winner when they haven't really won anything in the last 15, 16 years. So how are the Yankees always a winner? If you take my opinion of who's going to be a better team within the next 5, 10 years, I'm going to take the Mets.
And you're taking the Mets based off what track record?
Why does it have to be a track record? The Mets are going in the right direction. The Yankees are still paying off their debts.
They're going on the right track. Yeah, okay. They made what did the Yankees do last year?
They made it to the World
Bro,
Series in the easiest league the Yankees have ever played in a season.
you don't have Cole, Stanton, you don't have Heel, and you lost Juan Soto. Are you really making comparisons between the 2024 Yankees and the 2025 outlook?
No, but we're still a World Series contender. We're still the best team in the AL.
I don't think you're
Correct.
this. I don't think you're even the second best team in your division.
But let's
We
put it
have,
this way.
we have the
Let's
best player in the league
let's put
behind
it this
Otani.
way. In your statement against the Yankees, you stated that you're scared of a team. Jimmy's statement, he is not scared of any team because I think the Mets are more formed than the Yankees.
No,
I
I'm
Just
I
scared
think
of
because
a
you're a
team.
Yankee fan, you could still admit it.
I'm scared of a team because I'm a realist. Jimmy is not admitting he's not scared of a team because he caps. He knows
that's
he's
not
scared of
true.
a team.
Oh, the only
Did you
team
hear
the
me
Mets
say
are
that we were
scared of
getting
right now
His
is the
number one
Dodgers.
starter is Clay Holmes. Can we be fucking for real right now? Please.
Our number one starter is Sean Manaea, and he'll be back very soon to show you why he's the number one starter.
Oh, I have a question. Do you make the playoffs after opening day?
No, you don't. Clearly
Okay, so
not.
then why does
That can
why
show
does
you
the
that.
opening day starter matter when it's 162 games?
Because Nick Clay Holmes is a fucking starter for the New York Mets. He was a Yankees failed closer, and he's been shit, and now he's all of a sudden going to be a good starter. The difference between him and Seth Lugo was a very good reliever. Very good reliever. He turned
Stop.
into a starter,
Okay.
and he's better.
Clay Holmes had under a 3 ERA, and he had 76 saves in 3 years with the Yankees.
Do you guys remember the conversation I had with Jonathan last season when I said Clay Holmes is the best closer right now?
Yeah, because he
His
started off
first
strong.
his first half of the year, he was like what 15 for 15 or whatever with like a 1 ERA.
Yes, and then the pressure comes on, and he sucks.
Okay, well there's no pressure on opening day.
Yeah, there is. It's opening day.
It's opening day, so you lose the game. Whoop-de-doo, you're 0-1. You have 161 games left. The season's not over.
I don't know. I think some of these takes are ice cold. That's
It's
just
okay
my
to
thought.
admit that the Mets are better than the Yankees right now. It's the first time in their organization
I,
that it's happened.
I just don't. If we put position by position up, I don't see how the Mets are better than the Yankees.
All right, let's do it then. Since
All
right, boy.
since I'm a neutral, let's do it.
Catcher
we-
Austin
are we
Wells
talking-
versus
Are we talking about who's healthy, like our A lineup as far as injuries go, or are we talking about right now as opening day goes?
let's do healthy A lineup, no injuries. Injuries aren't a thing. Okay?
Okay. Yeah, sure.
All right. Catcher Austin Wells versus Alvarez. This is an easy one.
Okay, Alvarez.
Taking
No,
Alvarez.
that's
It's Austin Wells' first year.
okay.
You,
Er,
like, how can you
okay.
take a rookie?
It's not his first year, but anyways,
It's
Goldschmidt
his full season.
versus Pete. Obviously, Pete. We'll take Pete.
Pete.
That's fit.
That's
Who's
two.
Who's your second baseman?
Jeff McNeil, Ronald Acuna Jr. or what's his name? What's his first
Ronald
name?
Acuna
Shit.
Jr.
Can you
Luis
just name yours,
Angel
Jonathan?
Acuna.
Luis Angel
Jazz
Acuna.
Chisholm.
I'm taking Jazz.
Thank you.
And Jazz? Okay.
Yes, Jack McNeil is a bag of chips.
We're
He's
gonna.
not going to be our second baseman for long.
I know who he's taking here. Volpe Lindor. Just say Lindor.
I mean,
You're
anyone
crazy
is-
if you take anyone but Volpe or anyone but Lindor.
anyone with the right mind would take Lindor.
No, I would too. I would too.
I might be drunk right now.
Vientos against
Vientos.
Oswaldo. Yeah, okay. Left field. Dominguez. Who's your left fielder?
Brandon Nimmo.
Brandon Nimmo versus
Nimmo.
Dominguez.
Nimmo.
Okay.
Dominguez is a
Uh,
rookie with 20 games.
And how many-
Bellinger.
and how many errors in the spring training?
Spring training. Bellinger.
You can have
Oh,
center
now it's
field.
only spring training.
Spring training. Bellinger versus Jose Siri.
You could have center field.
Judge versus
Judge.
Soto. Thank you.
Push. Push.
Push. No. Judge is way more elite at defense.
I'm taking Judge because he's a better defender and he's not playing in a different environment.
It's a
DH.
push, but okay.
It's not a push. Who's your DH?
Whoever's not playing the field, so nobody really. Starling Marte.
Healthy
Stanton versus whoever. Okay.
Okay.
So I think
Stan's got
the Mets are up
two
over-
robotic elbows.
I think it's like 6-4.
6'4".
Yeah, because you counted a DH. Oh no, I'm sorry. There's 9, so it's 5-3. 5-3.
No, Yankees won.
Second base, I'm taking. Center
Oh, yeah.
field, I'm taking,
Five.
and right field. So it's 5-3.
Okay. Starting
It'd be
pitching.
It'd be 6-3 because we did 9 positions.
6.
6'3".
I can't do math.
Yeah, it is 6'3". Okay. Starting pitching.
Healthy.
You got Cole.
Healthy. I'm probably gonna take the Yankees.
Probably.
Yeah.
Probably. Not
I-
like an
I don't know who your
astounding guess.
starters are after Rodon.
Cole, Rodon, Cole, Fried, Rodon, Keel, Schmidt.
And
They'd be number ones in any of them are number ones on the Mets.
You can have rotation.
Okay. Bullpen.
I mean, I don't know much about the bullpen, but Jimmy says his bullpen's pretty good. So I don't really want to vote for the bullpen, like either bullpen. I don't know anything
All
about it.
right. So the Mets
Be a
win.
false vote. They win and it's not even close.
The Mets win 6-4, and Alvarez played like shit last year, but we're gonna count that. Nimmo's a toss up because he was shit for most of the party last year. So I say even.
So you're picking a guy who hasn't really played more than 10 MLB games over Nimmo.
Yes, I think Jason Dominguez is gonna have a far better career than Brandon Nimmo.
I mean, the keyword
Oh
there.
my God.
The keyword there was think.
What are you talking
I-
about?
You think a lot of players are going to have a good MLB career.
I think Jason Dominguez. I know Jason Dominguez will have a better career than Brandon Nimmo.
Bro, let's talk about the injuries. Okay, so the rotation now maybe is a little bit more even than we had once thought, right?
Still
With
not.
all of your
I'm
injuries.
still taking the Yankees.
Stanton's hurt, so the DH is just a toss up at that point. You can't give it you can't give the DH to you because it's just whoever's not playing the field. And then like just like this, there's so many injuries, and like you're not even the second best team in your division. We might not even be the second best team in our division.
I mean, according to the power rankings, you're the third best team in your division.
That's what I'm saying. So like there's a chance that the Phillies and Braves finish ahead of us. There's a chance we don't make the playoffs. There's also a chance that we run away with the division because the Braves aren't as good as we think and the Phillies regress. There's opportunities in the AL East for the Yankees to finish third and third by a lot. The Red Sox are exciting. The Orioles are very good. So You like we're in very similar positions.
I don't think there's a clear cut result of either of your divisions.
Nope.
All right, so let's pick division winners then.
You want to do division winners or just or do you want to do like all 7 teams in the playoffs? Because that's kind of like
You know,
division winners as well.
fuck that. Let's do division winners and then all World Series predictions. Because doing the whole 7 seeds is just too much work.
I didn't say go in order.
So division winners, World Series predictions. Okay.
Sure.
AL East, Yankees.
Boston.
Orioles.
Wow, all different. AL Central, Royals. Actually, this is a tough one. AL Central, you guys, I got to think about this one. I like the Tigers and the Royals. I think they're both very good upcoming teams. I really like what I'm seeing from the Tigers, but I think the Royals are only going to get better. I'm going to go Royals.
I'm gonna go with the 2025 MVP team in the Royals.
Royals.
AL West, Astros,
Texas.
I guess.
I'm going
Texas.
Texas, okay. NL East.
Braves.
Metropolitans.
Look at him, bro. He wants to say Mets so bad.
No, he doesn't.
I'm between.
He's
I'm
between the
gonna-
other two.
I'm gonna take the Phillies.
That's insane. That's the worst one to pick.
NL Central.
So bad.
It's so bad. I'm gonna shock the world and I'm gonna say the Reds.
I'm gonna say the Reds too. Funny.
Cubbies.
I mean, NL West. Do we even need to kind of
Nope. Skip.
Dodgers.
Yeah, Dodgers.
Can't stand the Dodgers.
All right. The 2025 on March 25th. Producer, make sure you cut this. World Series predictions. Now, we're going to pick an AL team and an NL team. We don't have to pick the winner. If you want, you can. Nick, your 2025 World Series teams, one from AL, one from NL, on today, March 25th of 2025.
I'm about to say some wild shit.
That's fine.
It's gonna be the Baltimore Orioles versus the San Diego Padres.
Wow. That's outrageous. That's outrageous. Okay, that's a good one. That's a good bet to place.
I
That's
think
probably a
the
good.
Wow.
Padres are gonna beat the Dodgers in a 5-game series.
That's
Wow.
a good, wow. 5 in 5. Okay.
Yep. Bank them.
All right, Jimmy, your 2025 AL and NL teams for the World Series.
NL team. Dodgers.
Make sure y'all are realistic.
Yep.
Uh-huh.
Being realistic. Dodgers. AL team. Boston. It's time, baby. It's time Boston has a good team.
Okay. All right. I'm bringing it back to the 70s. We're getting a rematch, Dodgers Yankees again.
That's not realistic.
Yes, it is. Come on, it's realistic. It's realistic.
Not realistic.
It's realistic.
I mean, I think mine's the most unrealistic, but then again, it's like it can happen. I mean, Jonathan's can happen, bro. I think with
course
the
it could.
AL,
Of
with
course
the
it could.
AL,
With Stanton's robot elbows, you could add Cole's third robot elbow in there. What's Heel got? Don't matter. He's out for the year, probably, right?
No, just a few months. Probably something.
No, just a few months.
I
Yeah.
think the biggest thing with determining the World Series team from the AL is the record of each team and who like plays each other early.
Yankees got aura now. They could grow beards, bro. It's over.
Oh boy. Yep. New rule. New rule. Yankees are allowing beards.
well kept beards, okay? Not Duck Dynasty beards. Well kept, like your beard. Your beard's well kept.
Mine?
Very well kept. Yes, it's well
I
kept.
got a well kept beard. Thank you, Nick.
Yes.
Can you lean forward? Do you have a well kept beard?
That is not a well kept beard.
I'm so sorry
Oh.
that I could grow more hair on my face than Jimmy.
It's a little grizzly. No, I trim mine up, Pop. Keep that shit nice and trimmed all week.
All right. Well,
What
that's
do you
our
think, John? What do you think? You got a well kept beard? Sorry, it's we can
No.
move on if you want.
I don't have a well kept beard. I gotta trim mine up. Look how like nasty it's getting. It's getting long. I gotta trim it up.
So having a long beard is nasty.
Yeah, I
It's
don't
not well
like.
kept.
It's not well kept. Yeah.
Yeah, but you
Like-
said it's not well kept because it's long.
Yeah, like to me, like a well-kept business professional beard is what you. That's
Well,
my
I mean, if
opinion.
I was playing on the Yankees,
Personal
I would,
opinion.
I'd get mine trimmed every single day, but unfortunately, I work a 9 to 4 job, so
You don't even finish the 8th hour in a day. Lucky you.
that's trust me, it's not lucky.
I'm sorry,
Every-
Nick. I'm just messing with you.
All right, let's move on to football, man. We'll do a quick football because I know it's getting late. Nick wants to go to sleep. He wants to count the sheep. Jimmy's got things to do. Who knows what he does at night? But let's talk football. Let's talk, I guess, just recent events. I don't think we need to go into our teams right now. We'll talk a little NFL draft, maybe top of the draft board. Jimmy is a Giants fan, so we may have a little bit to talk about. Based off tonight, who knows? And then we'll talk a little quick dynasty, maybe top 5 or where we think is going where. And we'll close it up. We'll close up episode 1 of season 4. All right, let's start off. Recent events. Giants signed 2 quarterbacks. 1, Jameis Winston. 2, tonight, approximately 2 to 3 hours ago, Russell Wilson. Very interesting, Jimmy. What's the thought process here? Is Are they still taking a quarterback at 3? Or do they go best available? Are they trading up? I'm very confused on the Giants' whole plan. I don't get it. I feel like this is Gable and Shane just being desperate, in my opinion. But what do you think as the Giants guy?
I think that the Giants don't like the 3rd quarterback in the draft. I think that's what it comes down to. I think they don't like either Shador or Dart falling to them because you're assuming Cam Ward goes to Tennessee. You're assuming the Browns, I think the Browns pick 2nd, go with a quarterback as well. Like they need a lot. They need a wide receiver and an edge, I would say the Browns, but you assume that the 3rd quarterback is not what the Giants want to get. Or you assume that the 3rd quarterback is one that they're willing to have as a project. So they have 2 starting quarterbacks ahead of them and allow them to sit completely for their freshman campaign, learn from 2 established veterans, and once Russell Wilson has, a reason to be benched, you go to Jameis Winston, you bring him in, and you don't go to a rookie. That's their point. They want to develop their guy. They want their guy to learn, or they want to pick him next year. That's the only 2 things that make sense to me. So a rookie quarterback will not start for the New York Giants unless there's significant injuries in the quarterback room. But that being said, that quarterback room is pretty freaking fun. Probably the nicest room in the league.
You got Giants country. Let's ride. You got Jameis Winston and all his personality. So very interesting QB room. You can't play future in the locker room. Sorry, Malik Neighbors, if anyone knows that joke. But yeah, I mean the Giants locker room is definitely like the QB room's interesting now, right? You have Tommy DeVito still, who's just like I think he's just on the roster for the memes. You have Jameis Winston who can throw for 1,000 yards in one game and then throw for 7 interceptions in the next game. And then you have Russell Wilson who has shown like he's had a good career. He's had a solid career. He has a ring. Almost had 2. Marshawn Lynch should have ran it up the middle. We're not going to go into that. But he's had a good career. So it's interesting. My personal opinion, I think the Giants need to take a quarterback this year. I don't care who it is. I am a big fan of Jackson Dart, but I don't know. I feel like they stay at 3 and take either Abdul Carter or Travis Hunter. I think they bring another superstar there, and that's what they rock with. Maybe they trade back into the 1st to take a Jackson Dart. Who knows? But I think they need to take a young quarterback this year, especially it looks like they're trying to compete and try to patch this team together to be a competitive team. And I don't think you're going to have a high enough draft pick next year where you're in a position to take a top quarterback. So that's my Giants take. The Dolphins, not much to talk about. We don't really have a hot pick, and we're just strictly talking draft right now. But personally, my 1 through 3, I think the Cam Ward's the best quarterback in this draft. But I do think the quarterback this year aren't that good, right? Like I don't think they're like last year's draft class where you had multiple elite, like for sure quarterbacks. I think Cam Ward has separated himself. I think he goes 1 to the Titans, even though they did say, it's open for trade. I doubt it. They need a quarterback. They can't stay with stinky Will Levis. The Browns, we all know their situation. They haven't had a quarterback in who the fuck knows how long. And they're going to draft Shador Sanders, who I think is very mid. And I don't think he's that good. I think he fails in Cleveland. I never wish that on someone, but I just don't think he's good, man. I think there's too much hype because of the name, and I just don't think he's good. Could just be me, but from what I've watched, I don't think he's good. And then 3, I think the Giants either trade back or take best available, you know? And Abdul Carter and Brian Burns together, that's pretty solid. Travis Hunter, is he going to be the next two-way player? Is he going to be the Shohei Ohtani of football? We'll see. So it's interesting. The draft's exciting. I enjoy the draft, and I'm excited for it. I'm excited to see what the Giants do because Jimmy's a Giants fan, and
I'm very curious. Yeah, I'm very curious. I do think that they lean quarterback. I do think that they'll take the third quarterback if that's what's given. Maybe the Browns surprise us and go with something else, and the second best quarterback falls to us. We'll see. But I do think that this quarterback that the Giants take will not play. I don't think that they will play a single snap this year. I think they'll be sitting on the bench and learning, which I think, in terms of a long range plan, I think that makes the most sense.
I agree.
Just imagine if they lost that one game that they should have.
Yep. Would have been 2 or 1.
They beat the Colts.
Yeah, we would have been sniffing. We would have been sniffing our choice in the draft, right? 3 and 14.
You would have been controlling your own destiny.
Yes, we would have won one less game and had the most losses.
So would you guys say Malik Neighbors' sophomore year is a mystery with these quarterbacks?
No, I think Malik Neighbors is a second coming of Jamar Chase. I think Malik Neighbors has that dog in him. I think he's going to be a top 5 receiver this year. I'm high on Malik Neighbors. All right. Nick fucking stole him from underneath my arms last year. And I was so upset. I was like, I'm getting Malik. Nick's taking a fucking quarterback. And Nick ended up with Jaden Daniels and Malik Neighbors, the bastard. But, it happens. I'm very high on Malik. I think Malik is a superstar. And with Jameis Winston, I think Malik Neighbors can put up crazy numbers. I think he can put up.
Has one game where he goes for like 220.
That Jameis Winston is a known gunslinger who just throws it, And Malik's that guy. He wants the ball in his hands. So, we'll see. I assume Wilson's going to be the starter with the contract they gave him. But yeah, I think Malik Neighbors is an absolute dog.
I think even with Russell Wilson, I think you can see some Jamar Chase, 40-point games from Malik Neighbors. I don't see that outside the range of possibilities.
No, I think he's that good. I really do.
Is he a first round pick in redraft?
Absolutely. 100%.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
He's not, wide receiver 1 or 2, but he's definitely in the top 5 wide receivers, I would say. Top 8 wide receivers.
Especially with last year, who were his quarterbacks, This year he has actual decent quarterbacks who throw the ball. So just multiply his production from last year. I think he's going to have a phenomenal year. I'm very high on Malik Neighbors. Always happened. Fuck you, Nick. But yeah.
You guys see that Stephon Diggs went to the Patriots?
Yeah, man. That's exciting for me. Big Drake May guy.
Drake May.
I got a lot of stock in Drake May. I think he's going to be. I hope he's a superstar. If not, I have multiple picks in this year's Dynasty. So let's go into Dynasty a little bit. I know it's a little late. I apologize, guys. Or let's do quick Dynasty, kind of where our rosters are at, kind of what we're looking at. I don't know if you guys kind of thought about it yet. I honestly haven't thought about Dynasty much. Kind of just pulled up my team now. But I can give you a quick summary of what I'm looking at here because I remember from last year. So basically, I have an up and coming young team, right? I have 4 firsts this year. I have 2 middle, 2 late. So essentially 3 firsts, I'm sorry. 1 middle, 2 late. Essentially, I'm going to be taking best available at the 6th pick, whoever it is. I'm not going positional needs. I'm going best available. 11 and 12, I will go positional needs. Personally, if Jackson Dart falls to me at 11 or 12, he will be taken. Personally, if Tyler Warren's there at 6th overall, he will be taken. I'm going best available, and if I find a receiver, which I need terribly bad, I will be taking a receiver. But it's best available for me because the running back class is completely loaded. I can move one of my other running backs. I have Jonathan Brooks, who's out another fucking year. dumb trade. Would have had Kyron still. But you learn and you learn from your mistakes, right? So I'm a young team. I need at least 2 solid receivers, and I think I'll be a big contender this year.
Is your intention this year to try and trade like you make the offer, or you're just only gonna be open to trades if someone offers you?
So personally, I'm I'm gonna search for offers, right? Like I'm gonna go through the block, whoever has their players available on the block,
Hmm.
and I'm just gonna send stuff over. I'm gonna go through the draft and see what I can get done. Essentially, we'll see, man. Like I just don't know. I don't know what's gonna make of it. We're gonna have new guys in the league. Alec told me he wants out because there's no fab, so I got to find another guy for him. Maybe we just start over. Like I would hate to do that, but like I'm just in a tricky situation with like people just being babies, essentially. So we'll see. We'll see. It's going to be interesting, and obviously I'll keep you guys updated. But I really don't want to restart the league. But Alec dropping out makes it tough. But I think I can find someone for his team.
Think you have to make
I
that
think
decision before the draft.
No, absolutely, yeah. I've had a lot going on, Nick.
No, no, no. I know. I'm just saying I don't want you to like make the whole league mad where we do the draft because you can't find someone, and then like over the summer you find someone, and they're
Oh
like, oh,
no,
we're
no,
not
this
going if we redo the league or something. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
no, for sure. This will definitely be solidified prior to draft. You know what I mean?
I mean, I think it's
I'm
pretty.
not trying to I'm not trying to suggest a good player, but I bet Nick would do it.
Nick DiGeronimo.
Yeah.
Okay, no, for sure, for
Yeah,
sure.
I
Say
mean, I'll be looking around too. If we'll try and help you out with this. Don't just put it all on yourself.
No, yeah, for sure. I appreciate it.
but yeah, as far as like dynasty goes, I feel like my team's in a weird spot. I got really good players that have the potential to be best in their position, but I have a really big question mark across my QB room. Anthony Richardson likely going to compete with Daniel Jones in Indianapolis. Excuse you. I'm in the middle of a take here.
Oh, sorry.
In Indianapolis, the QB room's a question mark at the moment. Brock Purdy, San Francisco's clearing out a little bit. Sounds like they're kind of getting close to a rebuild or retool, whatever you want to call it. They're going to pay Purdy, I assume, but not going to have as many weapons. So I'm in a tricky situation, man. I have pieces, but then again, I don't have elite pieces anymore. So I don't know. I feel like my team's in like a ride it out and see kind of state.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's time for you to get rid of one of those two wide receivers you have.
Yep, Jonathan, you should hit me up on draft night. Let's just say that.
Oh, we'll be talking for sure.
Yep. We'll be talking about some of those higher draft picks you got. We'll be talking about maybe moving some additional pieces in the deal, but I think it's time to get some fresh faces on this team instead of these same ones that make me want to bash my screen into the wall.
I feel like my team is in like a really good spot this year. If Tua can stay healthy, he's definitely my QB2, but I think this is the year I find out really what JJ McCarthy is about. So if he's a dog, my QBs are set. Chase Brown did what I predicted last year, being a dog, picking him up, well, having him as my RB2 with James Cook is good. I think this is the year I kind of have to trade Henry high. And then as long as my wide receivers don't die, I feel like I have a chance I could win.
Sounds like it. I mean, Derrick Henry, I don't know if you're selling him high, but you're selling him. He's a 32-year-old running back, so it was time last year.
Yeah, but last year I was trying to make a run, and the last play of the game, Chris Godwin got hurt, unfortunately, and defeated the whole purpose of me winning. But that's what happens with fantasy, and this year I feel like I'm kind of in the same spot.
I think personally, if you can net a second for Henry, I think you take that and don't look back.
No, yeah, 100%. I mean, this year I have I think 2 seconds and 2/3. No, 1 second and 2/3. So it's kind of just get some upcoming players on my taxi squad, let them rock out, and see what happens.
Yeah.
Rock out,
Oh,
baby.
rock out, baby. Rock out with your socks out. All right. Well, guys, we did a long episode for you. So we appreciate y'all. It's bedtimes for everyone. We will see you next week. we'll have a lot to talk about. Opening day is Thursday. Everyone enjoy opening day. It should be a national holiday, but it's not. Thank you so much if you're tuning in from your old listeners. If you're new listeners, welcome. We appreciate you guys if you made it this far with us. Have a wonderful week. Stay healthy. God bless. And we'll catch you next week. Have a good one.